Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skyrise, your early morning show where we talk all things gaming. I'm your host, SkyTune, and here's the breakdown for today. We have our guest interview, Pokepool's major Nintendo Switch update, what I'm playing, Amiibo overload, character conundrum, questions from Patreon supporters, and shoutouts. So let's get it. We have a very special guest here today for the first time ever in Skyrise history. What's up, Max?
Yo, what's up?
So Max here got the opportunity to go to the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, and he's going to tell us all about it. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
So basically how it started was first of all, of course you gotta present your QR code with the invitation, and then you get a wristband. I don't know, people got green, I got green, some people got orange, white. And then they opened the door and all the workers there cheering.
So wait, you went into the experience, like the room that the games were in, and all the Nintendo employees clapped for you?
Well, they clapped for everyone because I guess they're happy to present a new console finally in person.
Interesting.
The very first thing everyone got to do was play one cup of Mario Kart World, either against another person there or with a worker there. I've had the opportunity to play against a worker there because I didn't have an opponent. But from the first feel, from the controllers and the console itself, the surface is like really similar to the Xbox controller.
And that's just what, the like the console itself or the Joy-Con?
The Joy-Con and the console itself.
So they feel smoother?
It's not smoother. It has like the same kind of texture like the Xbox controllers nowadays. But you can feel that the material is higher quality than the cheap plastic ones they use for the old models, for the Switch ones.
Of course. Did you have that impression as if you... I'm going to use the example, you have a bigger phone and then you look at your old phone and you're like, oh my god, how did I use something that small?
That's difficult to answer. It's like, yeah, it's cool, it's more powerful, it's smoother, it's more responsive. I guess I could see it that way.
Since you said you played Mario Kart World, what was your impressions on that? What did you think?
The physics are very different to Mario Kart 8. It felt like Mario Kart 8, but kinda like a separate new game. Well, it is a new game. It is a new game, but...
Do you remember like who you played as, what courses you played?
The first time I played it was with the Burger Toad.
Did you enjoy the new mechanics and everything like that?
I didn't play enough to really answer that, but maybe it's because it's just a demo for now and not the full game, so there might be more than what I've seen.
Yeah.
But we've only played on 100cc normal CPUs.
Okay. Did they, like, have you on some sort of time limit, or was it however fast you completed all of the cup that they let you play?
On Mario Kart World, I believe it's per cup, but most of the games, like Yakuza 0 had a 10-minute demo, and Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2 had like 5 minutes.
5? That's it?
Yeah.
So, that's a really good topic to lean into. The upgraded games, that's a major thing that people have been talking about. The fact that we gotta pay for the visual upgrades, some other stuff like that. Did you get a chance to try out some game that's getting an upgrade? And if so, which one, and what did you think of the differences?
I mean, I only get to play Breath of the Wild, the upgraded one. I noticed there's definitely an improvement to the performance, especially Cork Forest, and that it's running in 4K 60 FPS, of course.
What made you see the difference? Was it like lighting?
I could guess the lighting was because of the HDR screen, but the only difference was the smoothness and like FPS wise, the loading times between saves is really short.
Now that you've been hands-on with it, do you see a reason to upgrade for the $10 or $15, however much that is?
I would say it depends if you're still enjoying Breath of the Wild. If you plan on replaying it a lot of times, then I would say yeah.
Did you get to try out the like Zelda voice note kind of thing?
No, I didn't get to test that one. They only have a display showing the feature, but you can't really try it out.
Did they have you like do the capabilities between the phone and everything you can do on the app versus the game?
So anything about the phone, there was nothing about it.
Oh, so the like map quest kind of feature, they didn't even let you do that.
No, they just showed it on a separate display as a video that you can do that.
That's strange. Okay. That doesn't seem very hands-on, like the event was supposed to be, but interesting. So, what else did you do while you were there?
Well, I did play Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh,
It felt like a long time, I think, because the demo was like 15 minutes long on this game.
what were your thoughts about that?
When I first looked at it, I immediately felt the vibe of Mario Odyssey.
Yeah?
Maybe because the same team was also working on it.
Was the, like, destruction as fun as it looks?
In some points, yeah. At the start, you start in a cave basically, and after you traverse through the cave a bit, there's like a section where it's all just gold, and it was really fun destroying that.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing I really noticed was when you pick up one of those collectible bananas, game would kinda stutter a bit.
So it doesn't stutter with the amount of destruction everywhere, but if you pick up an item, then that's
Not
strange.
an item, just bananas like the Mario Odyssey moons.
I wonder if it's because it's not like they still have another month to get that out after the launch of the Switch 2, so maybe it's something that they're working on.
I mean, it doesn't really interrupt gameplay that much.
Yeah, as long as you're not falling through the world or the jungle, then you should be fine. Was there like any sign? I'm sure people are gonna want to know this. Was there any sign of other characters? We know that Cranky Kong's in the game. Did you see anybody else?
I didn't really notice anyone special, but there's a lot of NPCs you can talk to.
Did you get to see Odd Rock?
The purple rock?
Yes.
Oh yeah, in the demo here, the rock was always on your back.
Oh, you didn't get the rock, it was just there.
I mean, I think you got it because I skipped cutscenes. The rock is like a companion for you,
Oh,
but
okay.
it doesn't really do anything as far as I've seen.
What's your opinion about that game now that you've played it? Is that like whenever you get a Switch 2, a must-have?
Well, it's kind of a mix of Mario Odyssey and Zelda because there's a lot of hidden things as well. There's also sub-areas in the world, but I couldn't enter them because the demo would teleport you back.
That's pretty cool though that you say that it's like a mix between Odyssey and Zelda, because those are very different but also similar games. I guess with the quote-unquote open world sandbox style. So I'm sure a lot of people are gonna love being able to have that kind of be combined into one game. And we haven't had a Donkey Kong game that is open world in so long, so this should be pretty freaking good whenever it's like time for everybody to get hands on.
I mean, the reason I say it's like Mario Odyssey, firstly, is because there was a hidden area where you could go in, and that was basically a Mario Odyssey level where you had to climb as Donkey Kong on the ceiling because there was the void beneath you, and there were like a wall of rocks, so you had to climb to the other side, or there was a hidden banana as well hidden behind the rocks.
Did you try any other games?
I did test Drag X Drive.
Oh, I've been wanting to hear about that. Okay, what did you think?
Difficult to get used to the controls, but I could see it could be fun. It does have the same vibe as ARMS.
Okay,
gotta say.
okay. And were the controls like, did you play it on a table? They said that you could use the mouse functionality of the Joy-Con on your pants even. Like, how did you try out the feature?
I played it on a table, but they told me I could also play it on the jeans.
Yeah.
But I didn't because I had stuff in the pockets.
Okay, that's valid. Did you get used to the controls?
I mean, we only get to play one round, then you have to wait the queue again. I could say you can learn it quickly.
Do you see it being a game that people will have fun with maybe a few times together and then maybe it gets forgotten a little bit like ARMS after that? It's kind of like their gimmick game.
Yeah, I could see something like that happening. From the first look, it doesn't seem like there's much going on for now. But the controls, back to the controls, it was really interesting how they implemented the like waving your hand feature, because it was very accurate to what I was doing in real life. Press L or R, depending which hand you were trying to use, and then like wave at your teammates or enemies, or you could even turn your hands around and do other gestures. It was really interesting.
Do you find drag and drive to be as expressive and fun as ARMS?
I gotta think for that for a moment.
Because they don't necessarily have, I mean, there's just, from what I've seen, and obviously I haven't played it yet, but they're just robots and wheelchairs and playing basketball. The expression or the expressiveness that I see is, as you said, they can wave their arms around, they can do all of that, but do you see these being like characters that people can relate to, like the ARMS ones, that they had facial features, there was more to them?
I mean, it was always like that you could relate to a character more if you couldn't see their face.
Did you get to try Metroid Prime 4 Beyond?
Oh yeah, I did.
And how was that?
Well, I did play with the right one being the mouse and the left one for moving and stuff. I always forgot that the ball button to go into the ball was like on the mouse, like the Y button. So that kind of threw me off, but that's just adjusting it again.
Yeah, just because different controls. What was your reaction towards not having to go into a menu to go to and from mouse mode?
Depending on the game, it's really smooth. You don't really notice the switch from mouse to controller.
That's cool. So it's seamless.
Well, it seems like it since Drag X Drive, you could just pick up the Joy-Con and the guy on the display would instantly start to raise their hands. Also, the mouse feature felt really, really responsive in Metroid Prime.
Oh, more than drag and drive?
Drag and Drive was it would start pushing the wheelchair after a certain bit. Makes sense from my eyes, because Metroid Prime is more of a shooter. The responsiveness is important.
Do you think that they're gonna be implementing the same way that you played Metroid into maybe like a Splatoon 4 in the future?
I mean, if they're already going for it, I don't see why not.
Because I'm sure people would love to have those same capabilities of one side shoots, the other side looks around.
Oh no, yeah, it's actually the opposite. You use the mouse to move your screen, like you aim with it and shoot at the same time on the same Joy-Con.
Oh!
It's like
Wait.
it's like a regular mouse with the L and L or R.
Yeah, what's the purpose of the other Joy-Con then, that's not in mouse mode?
Well, you use that to move, obviously.
Just like normal? That's so strange, okay. I thought for sure there'd be one that you shoot and then one that you look around.
Well, no, it's like a regular mouse. You look around and shoot, and the other one could be used to, if you're playing Splatoon, for example, like the L button for throwing your sub weapons and moving, and also you got the D-pad, the callouts,
Oh, right, okay.
and also the swim button. I forgot about it.
That too. So you said that you got some merch, right? Some free stuff. What did they give you?
So if you go out, you get like a Nintendo Switch 2 bag with 4 items. Well, I got 4 items at least, which was some paper notes with the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Same with a pen for it. Also with well, all of the merch had the Switch 2 logo.
Of course,
But
yeah.
the paper notes and the pen. And then I also got a bottle and also a poster with the location and date you went to the event.
That's kind of nice, so you can always remember. I know a lot of people have the concern of the magnets are going to not be strong enough or my Joy-Cons are going to break. After getting a hands-on impression, what do you say to people that believe that might be the case?
Well, if your gameplay is like normal, nothing would ever happen. Only if you use like strong force to pull them apart, maybe you can get them off. But the magnets are so strong, when I tried to pull them off, it didn't work. And also, it didn't like wiggle around like the Switch 1 Joy-Cons do. It's really durable, and when it comes to taking them off, it's like really surprising because the magnets are really strong, but you push the button and the Joy-Cons like basically get out for themselves.
Did you try the Pro controller for the Switch 2?
Yeah, it was basically on almost every stand that didn't need the mouse feature.
Do you see any difference between that one and then our current one?
I mean, only that the surface is a bit different again. The most notable things were the GL and GR buttons, like the back pedals.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. I'm probably not gonna be used to that at first.
It kind of feels funny when you just press on them because it's not like any other button the same feel.
I'm gonna just assume this is a no because it's an official Nintendo event, but I have to ask, did you witness any Joy-Con drifts?
Of course not.
Yep, thought that was coming. So I don't believe that they fixed that, but I do understand why at an official event they're not gonna have any controller be not like top notch.
I mean, I did notice on one of the switches that the button for releasing the magnets was kinda worn out. But that's because they locked the magnets into place, so you can't actually pull the button. There was only one model of the Switch where you could test the magnets out, because all the other ones had a locked mechanism, so you couldn't just steal one of the Joy-Cons or stuff.
What was your favorite way to play? Did you enjoy the bigger screen and handheld more, or using the Pro Controller or the Joy-Con grip? I'm assuming they let you play.
I mean, it really depends where you play. If I'm at home, I rather play on the TV, but anywhere else, handheld is also really good.
Was it the sort of thing that you came back home and now you're kind of thinking, my current Switch is not really as good? Did you see such amazing qualities in the Switch 2 that your current one doesn't really seem like all that anymore?
I mean, when it comes to new games, then yeah. But if I want to play Breath of the Wild, I don't really need the performance upgrade, like personally speaking.
Okay. The whole like venue overall, did you enjoy it? Would you go back to something like that?
I mean, I would always come back to a Nintendo event because the workers were really nice. Also, the whole vibe they gave off. They had a feeling of it's so good to be here.
I mean, you're insanely lucky. I know way too many people on the internet, and you are the only one that I'm aware of that got invited to this. So that's cool regardless that you can say you almost went to like a VIP event and got to try out something a month plus before everybody else.
I mean, it's kind of a weird experience thinking about that. So thinking, yeah, I played the Switch 2 before everyone else in the world.
Max, I asked some of the people on Patreon to provide you with a few questions here. So let's see if you can answer these. Hi, I am alive says, would you pre-order games if you were able to now? And which ones would they be?
Well, if I could pre-order at least one game for the Switch 2, it would be definitely Mario Kart World.
Instead of Donkey Kong,
I'm not the kind that likes to explore, even though I had fun with Donkey Kong, but I had more fun playing Mario Kart.
That's a really good sign, though, that maybe more people will think like you, and Mario Kart is, I mean, considering we're probably not going to get another one for another decade, and your opinions on the game are so high, that's a really good sign. So I'm happy to hear that.
I mean, the thing that would be even better if the 200cc mode will come back, because I asked a worker there and he said, we're not allowed to talk about this.
They probably still have it. Maybe it's in like a hidden menu.
Battle mode was locked anyways, so if I compare what I've seen on the Switch with what I've seen on the Treehouse, then they really locked away a lot of stuff. Because I also noticed I was unlocking characters as I played.
Just like the actual character or just the skin for them by eating a burger?
Both.
Or an item?
Not official characters, but like Goomba, like the enemies and the costumes.
How are you unlocking the characters?
Well, you know, there's this magic ball, and if you use it, I don't know if it's all or some, you have a chance to be transformed into one of those enemies, and then if you transform to it, you unlock it as a playable character.
Okay. So that's really, really strange. Instead of like time trials, beating a ghost, having to get an unlockable character, you kind of just get skins and characters while you're racing? Huh. That's new. I mean, everything about it's new, but that is not really what I expected.
I mean, the costumes also depend on where you're racing, so you can't get all the costumes in one place.
The only other question that I have for you comes from Poyo, who asked, would you prefer buying the digital or physical copies of Switch 2 games?
Digital is cheaper, so that's the only plus point it has, so I would rather buy physical.
See, you're a man of culture. We gotta keep the physical game world going.
Keep the shelves full.
Exactly. It's fun to like have something physically there that you can open up, unbox, put it into the Switch itself. Like, there's something about that people have had for years. I think people are just used to it, and I don't see it going away, but who knows what the future holds.
I mean, games are going to get bigger. The better the graphics get, the more mechanics it has. So at some point the storage won't be enough to hold the physical games.
Well, Max, thank you for the discussion. This was awesome. You are a legendary Nintendo VIP at this point.
I'm going to thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course. And where can people find you if they want to check out your socials?
You can mostly find me on YouTube, PogChamp_Max.
If anybody wants to check him out and subscribe, his link will be in the description below. But yeah, again, thank you so much, and back to it. That was such a great discussion. Let me know if you'd like to see other guest appearances in the future, but I think it's time we play Poke Pools. You know, in honor of the Celestial Guardians update. So, I say we open a Lunala pack. Alrighty, here it is. We'll go ahead and open it. And there we go. Spin it, spin it, spin it. Whatever it lands on, we're gonna go with it. And stop. Alright, slice that open, and we got a Litten, Sableye, Slandit, Alolan Grimer, and Primarina. These are not bad. I got a bunch of new ones too. Alright, so Nintendo had quite a big update several days ago, and we're gonna do a deep dive and check out some of the new features. So with this update, I would say that the most obvious change is down here. Let's take a look at some of these icons on the bottom. So the news app is now green instead of, I think it was like red, and it has all the same stuff. Everything looks the same, but other than the color, that is all that has changed. So over here, the eShop, there is a major change for it. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that. What do you know? It's red. So now instead of the standard orange eShop, everything is red in the eShop. So moving right along, Game Share. This is one of the biggest updates. It doesn't just have to do with color. This is a brand new icon, as you can see, as well as that other one too to the right. But we're gonna check out Game Share really quick, and I'm gonna tell you kinda what it does. So as you can see here, Nintendo Switch 2 users can use Game Share and you can play together. So on your Nintendo Switch 2, you can share your game if it's compatible to be shared to a different Nintendo Switch, even if the other Switch isn't a Switch 2. This is obviously an app on all of the current Switches because they're going to be the Switches that will be receiving the game from the user of the Switch 2. But they did this update early so they could get ready for June, basically. So all you do is say join Game Share, and that's about it. Then over here we got the virtual game cards. Now this is kind of a headache, I'm not gonna lie. If we go into here, it shows all of the different games and apps that might have the ability to have a virtual game card. Now, I'm probably not going to be explaining this correctly, but let's say that you want to play the Splatoon 3 DLC. What you have to do is load it onto this system, meaning this Switch, or you can load it on a different Nintendo Switch system, or you can lend it to a group family member. So there's a lot here, but think of it as being able to share content virtually. That's the best way that I can possibly describe this, because it is extremely tricky. And then the last thing I wanted to show was this guy. So Donkey Kong's icon is now the one from both Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So they switched him up a little bit. Everybody else, they apparently got very slight upgrades as well, but Donkey Kong's is the most noticeable. What do you think of this update? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you confused by it? Let me know in the comments. Now let's move on to what I'm playing. In Stellar Blade, I'm happy to say that I've officially obtained my second ending. I'm obviously not going to spoil anything, but I don't think it was as good of an ending as the first one I got. There is one more ending to get before the Platinum Trophy is mine, and I'll probably be doing that this upcoming Wednesday. So tap the Twitch link down in the description if you want to watch the speedrun finale playthrough. In other news, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, I just completed Chapter 6 and was able to do all the missions to get my Skell. I'm disappointed all over again, 10 years later, that it can't fly yet, but that's way later in the game. So at least I'm making progress in this 100% playthrough, and soon enough, the Skell will have the full capabilities. I'll keep everyone updated on these games and more, so stay tuned for next week. There is so much to say during this Skyrise episode, but nothing quite as crazy as the guy who sold his entire Amiibo collection to GameStop for $1,340. I honestly feel like he could have gotten thousands more if he sold the Amiibo on eBay or something like that. But I mean, hey, he should be able to buy close to 3 Nintendo Switch 2s now, so that's something. Do you hear that? It's time for Character Conundrum. Nobody got the character last week, but it was Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you'd like to play, the first 3 people to guess the character correctly in the comments will all get shoutouts. For this week, here's your hints. This character is short in stature. They wield a shovel as their weapon of choice, and they have blue armor. Who could this be? Let me know down in the comments and find out next week. There's no questions for me today because our Patreon supporters asked Max instead, so let's move straight to shoutouts. Starting with the Solar Superstars. Shout out to Ali, Hi I Am Alive, and Poyo. Of course, we can't forget about our elevated heroes, Meep and Matthew 2EK. If you'd like to further support the channel, starting for as low as $1 a month, the Patreon link is down in the description below. There's plenty of awesome perks that might interest you as well. If you enjoyed episode 17 of the Skyrise, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with some friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week!